Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we got something disturbing to talk about. What's been going viral is Maya Prince video, the daughter of Jay Prince Sr. She's been going viral, unfortunately, for yelling and abusing her infant daughter. It was caught on video. I'm going to show the video. Viewer discretion is advised. It's 11 seconds, but it's 11 hard seconds. If you don't like to see people yell or do anything to infants, please don't. There's a bit of language in the video as well. It's a bit fuzzy. But if you have a heart, you understand. So I had to preface it a little bit. I'm going to show the 11-second clip. I'm only going to run it once, obviously, and then we're going to come back and we're going to really talk about it. So let me go ahead. Let me share my screen here. And here we go. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing that. That was her. That was confirmed to be Jay Prince Sr.'s daughter, apparently yelling at an infant who is crying hysterically. And she's saying, shut up, shut the F up. And you can hear that she's also crying. I don't know who's taking that video or why they didn't stop her, but I'm glad that they took the video because it's proof of the abuse that that child is undergoing. I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear the sisterhood excuses about postpartum depression. I don't want to hear the sisterhood's excuses about mental issues. I don't want to hear sisterhood's excuses about any of them things. And the reason that I don't want to hear the sisterhood's excuses about any of those things isn't because those things don't exist. But what we're not going to do is get into a realm of always those being the go-tos every time we see Black women engage in heinous, deplorable, disgusting, and abusive behavior. Because all of y'all are not insane. See, postpartum depression is not insanity. You're not insane. Okay? Because there are plenty of women that undergo postpartum depression and they do not harm their children. They do not yell at them. They do not abuse them. They have other reactions. They'll cry. They can be overwhelmed by the child. So many times women will ask someone else, family member, the father, somebody to come and help them with the child so that when they feel overwhelmed, they can kind of decompress, step back a little bit and know that their child is still being taken care of in the interim, in the small time that the mothers need to readjust and reacclimate and come back to mothering until her hormones level out. And then she doesn't suffer the postpartum depression anymore. After that, it is a hormonal issue. But we are not going to pretend that every woman that abuses her child is suffering that way, because sometimes you just abusing them. If you're that delicate, see, this is where the accountability of women got to come in. If you're that delicate, if you're that overwhelmed, where you feel like you might put hands on this child, it is time to seek the help that you actually need, and not try to tell everybody that you okay, and not try to tell everybody that baby's okay, because that baby's not safe with you. That baby is not safe with her. Now, they claim that she got arrested, but I found that to be debunked. I could not solidify that information. I could not substantiate that she had actually gotten arrested for that. Everybody's saying that that was just a rumor that was going around, that she had actually gotten arrested. And this is why I say that it's with no consequence. See, a lot of times Black women accuse Black men of being the main predators and the main violators and the ones who are the most violent towards Black men and Black children. The problem that I'm having with that narrative is that we keep catching y'all doing it on camera. We keep catching Black women, though, being abusive. We keep catching y'all abusing these kids. We keep catching y'all deleting these kids. We keep catching y'all deleting baby daddies. We keep catching y'all doing it. That's the issue. In an age where everything is recorded, audio recordings, visual video recordings, CCTVs, people got Ring on their doorbells, cameras that's recording just right in front of their homes. You got all kind of fun. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody has a ready-made camera in their hand pretty much. And we keep catching y'all randomly doing all of the stuff that you've accused Black men of being the main perpetrators. You've accused Black men of being the number one perpetrators of violence against women and children in the Black community. That it's the men that delete them, and it's the men that delete you, and it's the men. We got that narrative going, but I don't be seeing recorded evidence of them. I be seeing it of you. Much more than we get recorded evidence of Black men being violent, being abusive, being, you understand what I'm saying, to a Black woman or a child. Certainly fewer than the increasing number of videos that we're seeing Black women engage in abusive behavior, from physical abuse to verbal abuse to sexual abuse. A lot of which is perpetrated on children and men. It's disturbing beyond measure. She hasn't been arrested yet. Has she even gotten the children taken? Has CPS been called? And I'm not a big fan of CPS, but I'm even less of a fan of child abuse. That baby didn't ask you to be here. That baby didn't ask for none of this. You had that baby. You. And if you realize that you cannot handle that level of responsibility without being so overwhelmed that you would put hands, or you would just, babies can die that all that shaking baby syndrome. Babies' little heads and brains, they be still having that soft spot right there. You shake a baby good enough, that baby's out of here. They delicate. They are to be handled delicately. And they have not asked to be subject to your fits of rage and your fits of being overwhelmed and your outbursts because you feel away, because you're upset, because you don't want to hear the baby crying. Baby crying for something. Babies cry for something. They cry when they're hungry. They cry when they Pampers need changing. They cry when they're sleepy. They cry when they're irritable. They cry when they're sick. They don't have another form of communication. Infants only have their cries to communicate. They can't tell you, I'm just cranky because I'm cranky. They can't tell you that I'm sleepy, or they can't tell you what's wrong. They cry, tell you what's wrong with them. And sometimes babies are crying just because they crying. And you got to have patience with that too. It's called mothering. You got to have patience with that. I have raised children, and sometimes they get to that, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Have to cry themselves to sleep. I'm put a pacifier in your mouth, pet you a little bit. You have to cry yourself to sleep today. Cry to your little lungs. You be hoarse. Because I done checked your diaper. You're not sick. Are you in pain? Little baby. Sometimes they cry because they get gas. And it hurting their little belly. And they don't know how to tell you that their little bellies is hurting. Because some of you young mothers don't know how to take care of babies. Some of you are the same women that don't know how to do proper hygiene. So I know that you're not belching a baby after you feed them, which is essential because they can't do it on their own. So when you feed an infant, you gotta burp them, however long it takes, because that gas gonna build up in their belly, and they don't know how to tell you it hurt. For all we know, the baby's crying because she abused it earlier. Now she wanted to shut up. No consequences. Where the police? Where's somebody? Where's another family member to come and get that baby? It's not safe in her hands. I don't care if she do calm down, because who's to say she's not going to have another episode and an outburst, and this time the baby don't survive that outburst. It don't take much. It won't take much. A couple of more of them crib slings will do it. We keep catching y'all on these videotapes deleting and abusing these babies. But it's Black men and they the problem. And y'all are stressed out. But a lot of that stress you do to yourself. Is Maya Prince married? You understand what I'm talking about? Is Maya Prince married? Do she have a husband that she can rely on that is the father of that child? And he, if he's in the house with her, can see that frustration inching up on her, and he would just come get his kid. Okay, baby, why don't you go lay down? No, I gotta know. No. You go relax. You go sit down. Because he'd rather do that than watch her engage in any form of abuse to a child of his. Men will a lot of times offer, you want me to call your mama, or you want me to call your sister? Come over here and help you with the baby, because I do got to go to work, but do you want some help? Because I can call somebody. My mama will come help you, whatever. It's a sad thing that this is what we see going on in the community, and people want to be hush hush about this kind of stuff. This is common. That's the sad part. All of this common. It's just that videos be going viral now, and people don't be wanting to believe that a lot of times these women be in these households doing this kind of stuff to them kids, terrorizing them, just terrorizing kids, man, just terrorizing babies. And nobody's the wiser, because you'll put something else on Instagram. You're not going to put that on Instagram. Somebody had to catch you doing that. Anyway, I want to draw everybody's attention to the fact that you can now go ahead and get your copy of my new book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery. If you want the physical copy, the link to that is in the description box, crimsoncure.com. You can get your copy today. If you want the digital copy, the link to that is also in the description box, because it is on sale at amazon.com as well. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Jump down into the comment section and let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.